Today I want to talk about three industries that have a major role in the human health. And for the sake of the argument, let us leave all the conspiracy theories out of the door. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about normal human way of doing business. And let's see where it takes us. So let us first see who are the people that work for these companies. I know it's not a nice thing to label people, but for the sake of argument, let us put these people in the following groups, and with those groups we will cover the vast majority of the employees. The first group are those people that like or don't like their job. They don't necessarily like their company. They certainly don't like what the company is doing, but they have to feed themselves and they have to feed their children. That's why they work there. Then the second group, this is by far the largest group, is the group of people who usually don't like what they're doing. They go to work because we have to work to live. They don't have a strong opinion about anything except maybe football. So they don't have a strong opinion about their company. They basically do what they are told. Then there is a group of people who will give everything to promote themselves. They are most happy when they have a big important title on the door of their personal office. They will obey authority, and even more, they will find ways to give suggestion to the authority how to improve the company on the expense of everything and everyone else, with hope that it will bring them an even better title on their door. Then there are those that run the companies. They also obey authority not because they respect authority, but because they are not stationary for a long time in one company, and that's why they don't care much how a company will be in the long run. They have to do well while they are in power in that company, and they have to stay in good relations with the people that put them in this position, so that they will get another similar position after the mandate for this position runs out. So you see, the chances that there is someone in a company that cares deeply for the well-being of the customers of the company, that cares for normal people inside and outside of the company, are slim, because either the company didn't want him because he was not a team player, or he was not able to stay in the company because it was unbearable to stay. And even if he is still in the company, he is silenced somewhere doing something, but not being permitted to work for the benefit of the customer. And why is the benefit of the customer such a taboo? Because of what is the most important for the company. And what is the most important for the company is the result of who is owning the company. International companies, every big company, it doesn't matter if it's international or not, every big company is owned, almost every big company is owned by international financial conglomerates that care about money. They care about other things too, but we said that we will talk about basic stuff today. They care about money, they care about profit, and a customer is usually in a way of profit, especially if the profit is measured in annually or even quarterly, or the largest measurement they have nowadays is 4 years. That's one usual mandate for a director of the company. So if we used to have company was never a charitable organization, but still we used to have small companies, usually family owned, that wanted to preserve the customer, wanted him to come again, and not just tomorrow, but they wanted to preserve their company for their kids, so they wanted to preserve their customers. They wanted the kids of their customers to use their products or their services. Nowadays it's not so. Nowadays they will do everything to increase profit, even by the expense that you will not use their products or their services anymore. Because at the end of the day, the fact that we have many companies competing for the same customers, that's usually, or almost all of the time, an illusion, because all of those companies are owned by financial conglomerates, and sometimes they are owned by the same one, sometimes not. But then look who owns financial conglomerates: other financial conglomerates. So at the top we don't have a choice. We have an illusion of choice. So it's no wonder that they don't care about the customers. Because if the customer moves, he can make his small point. Maybe the other company is providing something better at that moment. But the one that owns the company did not lose the customer. The customer is still there. It's just a customer of another one of his companies. So the game is played like this. You want to sell to your customers as many things or services as possible for the highest price possible, while you investing as little money as possible into them, so that your profit margin will be as high as possible. And this was always true. But when we had companies that had known owners, those owners, and they were not always nice people, but they knew that their customers, the public, can point them out if they go too far. It was known who to blame. And also, those companies wanted to preserve their customers, so that was another incentive not to go all the way. But today they can go all the way, and they do. So let us look at our food industry. And it's the whole chain of food industry that is rotten. The shops are, if they would want what is good for us, they would go bankrupt. If you want to know what is the most overpriced, unnecessary stuff for you, look at what is sold right near the counter. And not only that, one of the maybe not so important thing for your health, but one thing that I resent our local, it's not a local shop, but it's shop near where I live, they have sometimes apples from South America. I live in Europe. We have apples. We don't need apples from South America. They have the guts to put a sticker on their door how they are CO2 emission free shop. I don't care about that. I care when somebody is not honest with me. If you would be zero emission, you would get bankrupt. If you bring me bananas from Africa or South America, I'm grateful, because we don't have bananas here. Don't bring me apples from there. But again, apples are healthy, even though how they are treated when they grow on trees, how all the fruits and vegetables are treated. So this grace. Look at the studies of what we've done with our fruits and vegetables. They are nutritionally practically valueless. Their nutrition properties, they are down 40 to 90% from what they used to be. And we are still taught in school that one apple a day takes a doctor away. I have an apple a day, I have two, but it's not the same apple as it used to be. And nobody cares. In those companies that are producing food, nobody cares that the food is not what it used to be. Because if somebody cared, he's not at that company anymore. We still get pictures of farmers. Well, we have one or two small farmers even on these fields. But the 99.9% of food industry is companies. Our food is not grown by farmers. You know, when I was born in 1974 in a communist country in the Northern Balkans, and we were not an industrially too evolved country. We were not evolved enough to destroy our food yet, and we had great food. Then I embarked on a ship. I was on a ship for 8 months and a half, and we had generally quite good food, but once we bought tomatoes in the Strait of Gibraltar. Oh my God, they looked like tomatoes, but they smelled like nothing and they taste like plastic. And now I'm scared to think that the tomatoes I'm having nowadays are more like those tomatoes and less like tomatoes I had when I was a child. But still, you know, when I buy salad, because we eat a lot of salad, I always buy salad that is made from farmers that have fields right here where I'm filming this. I don't buy salad from shop because to me it tastes like green paper. A salad that did not feel earth, that was grown in water. Well, that's not a salad for me. So when we must go to a shop, we must buy food. We cannot grow, even if we have a garden at home, we cannot grow everything we need at home. So we must go to the shop and we must buy food. But we must be a little bit picky about it. Not everything they make for us, it's good for us. Everything they made for us, it's not good for us. But something is just not good and something is a disaster. You don't have to, we used to buy food that had all kinds of additives, and we were, look how many additives. You don't have to buy that food. Buy something that you will prepare at home. Okay, it will still have pesticides and other stuff, but it will not have preservatives and additives because it will not be pre-made. And modern humans don't even know what I'm talking about. They think that good food is protein bars. Come on. Nothing that is a bar can be good for you. Nothing. And it's the same thing with our cosmetics. I made a separate video about cosmetics. I don't know why we use so much cosmetic products nowadays. And it used to be just women. Now we men don't want to be left behind. I don't know. I don't use that much cosmetics. I use soap. I guess I don't stink. Nobody told me that. Nobody threw me out of anywhere. But when I go in an elevator after a woman that thinks that she is beautiful because she used all the possible cosmetics in the world, I cannot breathe in that elevator because it stinks of all the it's not even a perfume, it's everything smells. Everything she puts on herself smells. And it's not that she can smell as much as she wants. It's not healthy. I heard it once. If you cannot eat it, don't put it on your skin. Is it true or not? I don't know. but to me it sounds so right. Lesser evil is that we spend way too much money on cosmetics that we should. Greater evil is that it is not healthy for us. It really is not. One thing is hygiene. The other thing is using products that serve nothing. I don't know if it's true or not, but we used to say that perfume was invented by French who didn't wash themselves to cover the smell. Well, bravo. I don't need that. And at the end, let us talk about healthcare industry. And don't think for a second that I don't appreciate healthcare. My father was in a hospital for 6 years because of a heart condition that can nowadays be fixed with a simple operation. I'm grateful that we can today help each other in ways that we were not able before. But even if we can help each other in so many ways, there are so many people that don't get that help because they cannot afford it. I'm not grateful for that. But it's even more than that. It's not healthcare. It's healthcare industry. And industry must work. Industry must be profitable. So sometimes we treat people in a way that brings more profit and not in a way that brings health sooner and with less side effects. And sometimes, if there is no threat at all, we invent one. I was once in an office of an insurance lady. She was preparing insurance for our car, and we were talking what we need and what we don't need, and she was in a particularly good mood. And she said, you know, we are selling the fact that people are frightened. We are in a fear business. Well, I cannot help myself but to notice that it's the same with healthcare. Some people have medicine for everything. They're 40 years old and they have cabinets full of medicine. Well, sometimes it's necessary, but those times are way fewer than we think. Some people do, and I don't want to offend them. It's nice that you can help yourself with modern medicine, but not every second person nowadays uses some sort of medicine almost every day. I use an aspirin once or twice a year when I feel that I'm gonna get sick. That's all. That's all I'm taking. I never took anything else for decades now. I don't want to brag. I want to point out that if you are a normal person, if you don't have a heart condition like my father had, or any other condition, you know what I mean. If you don't have a special condition, then you don't need medicine. Maybe you should first look at what you eat. What are you doing? Are you living a healthy life? And then take medicines as a last resort. I know a person who had 2 children, and she took one of the children to the doctor because the child was sick. but she had nowhere to put the other one, so she took both to the doctor. And the doctor was examining the child that was sick, and the mother said, you know, the other child has I guess he has a little bit irritation in the ear. I think it's a little bit red. Well, they both got antibiotics, and the other child was not sick, not having a fever, not feeling ill, nothing. He had an irritation that would go away. A lot of antibiotics don't work nowadays because we overuse them. I had a co-worker that, when I said that I never use anything that is anti for my body, he said that he was often ill, and every time the doctor prescribed antibiotics. And one time he said, okay, I will not use them anymore. He prescribed them, I will throw them away, and that's it. And he was never sick again, or way less sick again than he was. I'm not saying how is the right way and how is not the right way to use medicine. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying that if we are prescribed something that we must not throw in a regular dumpster, I'm skeptic about it. I don't know. This is just my point of view. So my friend, sorry for another rant of mine. I didn't want to be negative. I just want you to be healthy. Or better, I don't want anything. I just gave you something to think about.